The View turns on ghetto Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett and condemns her comments about Texas Governor Greg Abbott. It's almost impossible for The View not to celebrate a black woman living her authentic self. So if they're saying she's doing too much, you know this performative ghetto hood rat cosplay is not working. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers, but let's start with hearing Jasmine Crockett's comments firsthand and then Governor Abbott's response.
Because we in these hot ass Texas streets, honey. Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot ass mess, honey. So yes.
Well, Sean, is another day and another disaster by the Democrats. The reality is they have no vision, no policy. They have nothing to sell but hate, and Americans are not buying it. It's one reason why Texas is going to remain red and why Republicans are going to continue to win elections across the country.
So we've been trying to tell them the American people are not seeing this overemphasizing of curse words as edgy or gritty or cool or fashionable. We see it as a pathetic attempt to try to emulate what people liked about Donald Trump. It's like when kids start to cuss for the first time when their parents aren't around, and they don't know how to use the cuss words properly, so they just haphazardly throw them together into wild statements. That's what it looks like the Democrats are doing. You have a bunch of people who have never spoken like this in their entire lives, now changing their entire vernacular to try to imitate Jasmine Crockett. But let's hear what The View has to say about this. Here's both Joy and Whoopi saying she shouldn't have said that.
Congresswoman Crockett denies she was mocking Abbott's disability. She says she was referring to his use of trains, planes, and automobiles to transfer migrants around the country. She should not have made the comment at all. But Joy...
Yeah, well, I was just thinking when I saw this about, where was the outrage from Abbott when Trump was doing this?
Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said.
Well, that was about a reporter named Serge Kovaleski who suffered from a condition that restricts joint movement. And he had interviewed Trump many times in the 80s. So he was basically making fun of the guy's disability. And I didn't hear the outrage then. Not that she's right or wrong.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about her, she was looking for a way to say hot mess and hot wheels.
Yeah.
And, you should leave that stuff to the comedians.
You see how Joy had to throw the "but Donald Trump said" in there. And I don't even think she did that because she was actually trying to draw the comparison. I think it's because they're such Democrat partisan propagandists that before they can issue any criticism to their own side, they have to first remind everybody, oh, look, Donald Trump's terrible. Don't forget, he's awful, he's evil, he's vile, but we messed up here. It was bad that she said that, but let's not forget Trump is also bad. It's desperate and hilarious. And one of the things that Joy said was, where was all the outrage? I thought comedy was legal now. Isn't that what the Republicans said? But they still don't get it. I swear, since the election, they have missed the point on absolutely everything. Yes, comedy is legal. Yes, Donald Trump freed us from the chains of woke social pressure and political correctness. We're not mad because we get offended by free speech. We're not mad because she made a joke about somebody in a wheelchair. It's a sarcastic outrage. It's us pointing out the hypocrisy that you guys were just the side that wanted to police everything everybody said and made it all but a crime to make a joke at the expense of somebody, especially a disabled individual. And yes, Donald Trump got rid of the wokeness. Comedy is legal again. Make fun of whoever you want. But that doesn't mean that we can't point out the absolute hypocrisy and the complete 180 that the Democrats have made on their principles. Now, like Whoopi said, Jasmine Crockett came out on X and tried to clarify that she wasn't talking about the governor's condition. She was talking about something else. So let's take a look at this apology and you let me know. I wasn't thinking about the governor's condition. I was thinking about the planes, trains, and automobiles he used to transfer migrants into communities led by black mayors, deliberately stoking tension and fear among the most vulnerable. Literally, the next line I said was, he was a hot ass mess, referencing his terrible policies. At no point did I mention or allude to his condition. So I'm even more appalled that the very people who unequivocally support Trump, a man known for racially insensitive nicknames and mocking those with disabilities, are now outraged. Now, obviously, we know she's lying, right? But just to highlight the sheer level of delusion and lack of self-awareness with people like Jasmine Crockett, here is a post she retweeted only 4 days ago, rolling up to the White House to cheer on the president, destroying the agency that makes sure kids in wheelchairs have equal access to education is wild. So there she is, retweeting a post about Governor Abbott rolling up to the White House. I mean, the fact that these people will lie so easily and blatantly, not even caring that there is recent proof to back the claim that you're lying. Here's Alyssa calling her out for that.
I agree with that because I respect her, but it's just never okay to mock someone's disability, whether you're Donald Trump or Jasmine Crockett. He was paralyzed from the waist down, Governor Abbott, and when he was 29 years old, a tree fell on him. It's a tragedy, whether you like him or not. That's just off limits. And I think it raises this bigger point that we encounter in the Trump era where just because he or some people like him go low, if we all go low back in response, then you just end up down in the mud. Things don't get better then. And right now, there's this whole question, like, should Democrats fight harder? Should they name call back? Should they shout? I think they should be strategic. I should know, though, she made the joke before about him at Hot Wheels numerous times.
And what did she say that time?
There was like 3 or 4 examples. Referred to him as Governor Hot Wheels, said he was rolling up to the White House, said he... I
think that...
Not a good idea.
Yeah, you just don't mock people with disabilities.
The thing I love about the Democrats scrambling to find their footing is they're trying everything and they're proving to fail at everything while learning no lessons along the way. And now they think that the right strategy is to try to beat Donald Trump at his own game. Not only can they not beat him at his own game, they'll get destroyed if they try, but it's so foreign to them that they come off aggressive and rude. And Trump gets more points for just sitting back and saying, wow, these people have no shame, no class. He gets to come out looking like the good guy. And did I mention she made this comment at a human rights conference and the crowd was thrilled, they cheered? The left are hypocrites, they lack principle, they lack any stances. They don't believe anything that they say. And once again, every time they try to levy an accusation, it is merely a confession. Now, I saved the best take for last, obviously. Sunny Hostin is hurt to her core to have to criticize a fellow black Democrat woman. I'm gonna throw a screenshot up of when Jasmine Crockett was on The View less than a month ago, and Sunny was so happy and cheerful to be able to show out for somebody who's just as radical and racist as she is. Now, you saw that big old smile. Well, look how defeated Sunny is to have to condemn Jasmine Crockett. Watch.
You don't mock people. I was going to say, you just don't mock people at all. And I admire Jasmine Crockett. I do think she's an effective messenger. I think this was a mistake. And I think when you make a mistake, you have to own it. You have to do that because it gives you a lot more credibility when you do that. I did not know that Governor Abbott was a paraplegic. I had no idea that he went around, and the people in the audience all started shaking their heads. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was, a tree fell on him when he was 26. A lot of his photos are taken from the step down, from the waist up. But she is the representative from Texas, so she very much so must have known that he is in a wheelchair. And so I hope that she does the right.
It is pretty rich to watch Sunny cast judgment on others, saying that when they make a mistake, they should admit that they're wrong so they retain credibility. Obviously, she doesn't mean for herself, or maybe she does and just believes she's never wrong and makes any mistakes. Both are equally possible. Again, the thing that I draw from this condemnation from The View is a clear insight into why the Democrat Party is at an all-time low favorability. If you've gotten The View to say that they didn't like what you did, that means before it even gets to this point, you've already turned off and offended 99% of everybody else. These are the most radical, progressive, deep left people you can find on television. You can bet your life savings they would have done everything to avoid criticizing a black Democrat woman, but this looked so bad. It was so classless. It was so desperate that The View was forced to say something about it. Again, nobody on the Republican side is mad. We just find it very ironic. It's like you're espousing the wonders of government control and communism and policing speech and policing jokes and policing fun. And then you peer across the Berlin Wall and you see us having fun kicking around a soccer ball, and you want to come play and enjoy life too. Sure, you can come kick around the soccer ball with us, but don't think that we aren't going to remind you that you were just the person advocating for the police to take everybody's soccer balls away. Now here's Scott Jennings on CNN giving everybody a little smackdown because there's still some people who want to defend what Jasmine Crockett did.
I don't know how the Democrats came to appoint Jasmine Crockett as the unquestioned leader of your party, but thank God. And I think what she should do is go on TV twice as much as she is right now, maybe 3 times as much, because every time she appears and makes one of these mistakes, says something radical, it only further divides her party from the rest of the other 80% of America who can't stand this. But the problem is there's an audience for it. I heard Jimmy Kimmel's audience cheering on Tesla vandalism. I hear the Daily Show audience cheering on attacks on Elon Musk. I hear the human rights audience cheering on an attack on a man in a wheelchair. And I realize this is what the left has become, an angry mob of people who are cheering on attacks on a guy in a wheelchair and vandalism against people who bought a Tesla. It's pathetic. No lesson could ever be learned as long as you're doing these things in front of audiences who roar when you do it. When you have comedians who are broad messengers for the left making unfair jokes and people are roaring, when you have politicians being vulgar and saying what's the lesson? What's the audience? It says a lot about the audience.
So the left isn't just exposing themselves for being moral hypocrites, they're also exposing themselves for not being too bright. We're criticizing the terrorist attacks on Tesla dealerships, you know, fire bombings and keying cars and shooting up dealerships. They're like, didn't you guys boycott Bud Light because they had Dylan Mulvaney? Didn't you boycott Target because they were selling LGBTQ stuff to kids? And we're like, yes, we just stopped spending our money with these places. How in the world is that equivalent to you guys firebombing dealerships, vandalizing every single Tesla that you see? You might have a point if Republicans were aggressively starting bar fights because they heard somebody across the bar order a Bud Light, or burning down Target department stores. It's like the Democrats are such partisan zombies that they willingly shift the goalpost or miss the point or choose not to understand. Oh, why are you guys mad at Jasmine Crockett? I thought comedy was legal now. Nobody's mad. We're just pointing out that just a year ago, these kind of people were saying that the worst injustice you could possibly commit is making a joke about someone they deem to be marginalized. And now you guys are doing that exact same thing. They're proving that just because they're educated, I mean, whatever, it doesn't mean they're smart. It doesn't mean they're wise. It doesn't mean that they have common sense. And if the most educated people in our society are consistently unable to critically think, to make a cohesive argument for anything, to defend their radical positions, or to have a shred of self-awareness, it's just another case study as to why the Department of Education has failed us so miserably. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.